It's me, Astro Boy 79. A bunch of PS1 games. I can just walk in and out of your store. Hello gamers, it's me, SPILLIN 79. It's my show. Glad to be back, and hello gamers, it's me, SPILLIN 79. It's my show. Glad to be back to do another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about hidden gems in my collection. Hidden gems for me is personally games that I like that weren't necessarily not uncommon. They're common titles, but they may have just got popularized or big in the gaming world. I mean, there's people that's out there that probably know about it, but I just wanted to bring some of these games to the forefront because they're interesting, and for the majority, I've beat a lot of these titles and gone back and have thoroughly enjoyed some of these games. The first title that I wanted to talk about was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for Super Nintendo. It's actually a pretty interesting title. It's actually a pretty interesting game, I guess to say. It's from Bandai. It's one of those games that kind of gives you that arcade feel. You can play a multitude of players on it at the same time. You can choose from all 5 Rangers. I remember playing this game as a kid, well, not even as a kid, well, as a teenager, and even watching the show, the first edition, the original Power Rangers. But yeah, it's really fun, action-packed, nice side scroller, kind of give you that Turtles in Time, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade, I should say, and several other arcade games like X-Men, where you can play a multitude of players at one time. But it's really fun. I beat it several times and had a lot of fun with it, so definitely check it out. Now, the next game I would recommend is Green Dog, the Beach Surfer Dude. I've actually mentioned this game before, and it's an original title for the Sega Genesis. It's really fun. It's got that kind of ocean type feel music to it. It's this guy that basically is he's a surfer dude, and you're just going through like all kinds of levels. I don't know what it is about it. I guess the thing about it is simplicity about this game, but it is fun. It's one of those games that you gotta put in and then you would instantly know what it's all about. But it's a side scroller yet again. Side scrollers are some of my favorite platform type games, or type of games anyway. But this guy is pretty clever. The music, he doesn't talk through the whole game. You use more of dialogue through subtitles and stuff like that, kind of picking up on clues along the way. The music is a telltale sign in itself, but this is really fun game, so I would recommend playing that. And a game that I picked up early this year that I used to play at the arcades is I think it's pronounced Toki The Ape Spit. It's another title for the Sega Genesis. It actually was at the arcades. This is a really fun side scroller. If you notice, there's a thing going on with the side scroller type games because I have a tendency to play those a lot more than anything. But this one's full of action. It's very challenging, but it's very rewarding. It's this ape that all his powers or power-ups come through his mouth, so that's why it says Going Ape Spit. He pretty much shoots fire, bullets, all kinds of crazy stuff, but his other power-ups are like his super sneakers, and he wears a helmet. He gets a football helmet at one point. It's all kinds of crazy stuff, and the game is kind of challenging, but it's fun. It's one of those games that you could probably go through in one day, and so yeah, definitely pick that up. Toki Going Ape Spit, really awesome title. I definitely would recommend picking this up for the Sega Genesis. Now, the next game that I wanted to talk about was an awesome shooter. This was probably the first game I ever played on the PS2. It's called Winback Covert Operations. This is really fun. I actually enjoyed this game. First, it takes you through a training course because I think you are an officer or something like that. I haven't played it in a while, so I have to jog my memory. But this is a really fun action. Let's see, it's a third-person shooter, and third-person shooters are another one of my favorites. I actually prefer third-person over first-person shooter type games because I like to see my character, kind of get a feel for what I'm playing with and stuff. But yeah, this is another action type game. It says the first blast wipe out your space center. What's it? The first blast wipe out your space center in just 3 hours. The high-tech weapons satellite will strike again. It's your job to make sure that it doesn't. So you pretty much are the lead guy playing the lead role, and you're pretty much trying to stop an attack from occurring. So definitely check that out. It's Winback. I know there's a sequel. Haven't had an opportunity to pick that up, but definitely recommend this one. I've enjoyed this several times. Another title that I actually picked up this year, and it turned out to be really good, and it's from one of my favorite series. It's called Rygar, The Legendary Adventure. Rygar, if you don't know, is probably one of my favorite action type games. This one is a third-person action video game. It's really fun. This one is on the PS2. It's pretty much, I think it's not in the medieval, but trying to think of the the timeline. I can't even think about. Oh, kind of like the Greek mythology time. I just happened to be walking through the store earlier this year, and I picked this up. I'm actually at the end of this game. Now, the part that's messed up is that there's a part that I missed, and so I missed one of my power-ups, so I may have to go back and start all over again because I'm locked in. But yeah, this is a really awesome action type video game, so I would recommend playing this. I love the character, of course. I love that it's a Rygar game, and I got to see it in almost more of a current state, you know, because the old school type game, when it was on the 8-bit, had that little side scroll thing going on, but this picked up right where it left off, and it's a really awesome title. Next game is Astro Boy. I've beat this several times, and it's a little bit challenging. It's this robot that's basically trying to save the world. He was designed for other purposes. He was designed for evil purposes, and you're going throughout all these cities throughout the galaxy, and you are running all these missions and stuff like that. And this is a really fun game. This is what it looked like, and it's based off the animation. I think it's a Japanese animation type game. I haven't looked up the actual series because I think there is a cartoon or a movie based off the game. But and I know there's a sequel out there as well. I need to check that out. But I definitely love this game. It's definitely what a definition of a hidden gem is, because I bought this when I originally had the PS2, and I just yet again just was basing it off. This was before the internet was popular and all the other things, and I just saw the game and I took an opportunity. What's really cool is that throughout the game, he gets all these cool power-ups. He actually gets the strength of 100,000 tons or something like that. He can lift 100,000 tons. And he's got like these rocket fuel boots and stuff like that. He shoots lasers and all kinds of stuff. If you look close at that last picture down at the bottom, you can actually see that. So this is a really awesome game. If you see this, definitely pick it up. It's not a waste of your time. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. The next game that I wanted to talk about was Dreamfall: The Longest Journey. This is an awesome game. It's an action RPG type game. The RPG side of it is on a lower level, but it's more of a story element type game. What makes this game kind of difficult, there is no map. I would recommend finding a strategy guide. If you can pick up on clues really well, definitely pick it up. But this was a game by, I think it's pronounced Fancom. Is it Fancom? I'm trying to see it. Yeah, Fancom. Oh my god, this game is really awesome. I picked this up about 5-6 months ago. I started making my way through this. This is based off a character named Zoe. and she has all these reoccurring nightmares and dreams, and she's putting pieces and parts together, trying to make sense out of everything. And so you're traveling all over these places, all over the world, based off of clues and stuff like that. And there is some RPG elements, moral decisions and stuff like that. You have to do a little bit of probing and knowing how to be persistent and manipulative to get information out of people and be persistent with what you're doing. But this is a badass game, so I definitely would recommend this. This is definitely a hidden gem. Now, the next game that I wanted to talk about was iNinja. iNinja, the best way I can describe it is action adventure type game. It starts out with this ninja. He's having a conversation with his sensei, and he's trying to become like the kind of the way of the master thing and elevate himself as a ninja and go all the way up. If you notice, his belt is red throughout the entirety of the game. As you elevate and as you evolve as a ninja, your belt changes, difficulty level raises. There are some crazy obstacles. At one point, you are on top of a ball and you have to make it to the end of the level. There's a lot of timelines, parts to this game. Like, you have to complete certain objectives throughout each mission, and you have to do it in a specific way. But this game is so fun. I like up-tempo, fast-paced type games. So yeah, this is a really good game. It's by Namco, and Namco has never done me wrong. But this is a really, really awesome game. It is kind of challenging, so just be ready. But it's definitely fun. The game is called iNinja. Once again, really, really awesome game. Another platform action type game. This one came as a surprise to me. I found this years and years ago. It's called Vex. And the lead character, I think his father passes or something like that. But in the midst of things, he gets these claws. In the beginning of the timelines, the opening scenes of the game, where they're trying to explain the character, his point, and what he's trying to do. But this is one of those action type platform games. Kind of reminds me of Ratchet and Clank. I love platform games. I love side scrollers, third person type games, action adventure type RPG games. But this is a really, really interesting game. You do a lot of the power-ups, pickups throughout each level, and you accumulate different powers and stuff like that. And you're able to do different type moves. But it's just a raw out platform type game. So it's really, really fun. I would definitely recommend this. This is a hidden gem that most people just overlook. It's called Vex. Now, the next game I would recommend is the Bourne Conspiracy, which I think it came out shortly after the second one, because it was Bourne Identity, Bourne Conspiracy, and Bourne Ultimatum, and then the last one, which I didn't watch. I was more of a Matt Damon fan. I wasn't too fond of the last guy, so I haven't even watched it. Maybe one day I will watch it. I have the trilogy on my DVD and stuff like that, and I go back and watch it occasionally. But this is a really awesome third-person shooter type game. Very action, up tempo. It kind of leads off with the game a little bit. This is actually fun. I've had this game for several years now, and as you see, I've kept it. There are certain games that I just felt like should remain in the collection, and this is definitely one of them. So if you haven't played this game, definitely play this game. If you're a Bourne fan, definitely recommend it. And the last game that I feel like brought things back was Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands. I feel like there was, from the original Prince of Persia to I think it was the Sands of Time, and then the Warrior Within, and then the weird ass Prince of Persia with the girl saving your life every time you die, and then they brought out Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands. I think this one brought it back. It's basically allowing you to tap into your powers again, finding your power and unleashing your destiny through this video game. This I feel like this brought it back to its origins, to its feel-good. So if you haven't played this Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands, definitely recommend this game. I've beat it once, and I was halfway through it again, I just started playing other games. But yeah, those are all the hidden gems that I could think of at the time. If I think of some more, I'll do a part 2, and I'll just keep going and going and going. But tell me what hidden gems you have in your collection, or hidden gems you would recommend, because really the thing is, we know all the common titles, we know all of the games that sold a multitude of millions or whatever and did really well. But I like to hear about games that I've never heard of, you know, and that's the awesome side of retro, and then games that, you know, just tapping in stuff you never played. But other than that, I thank you for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos and hitting that like button and telling others about it on all social networks. I really do appreciate that. Tell me how your life is as a gamer. I finished up the original Mass Effect, and it turned out to be an awesome title. I got to see everything with Siren and how it all originally began. I might even go back to part 2, but I don't know. I'll see. But other than that, tell me how your life is as a gamer. I'm SPILLIN 79, and I'm out.